Welcome, Titi. Thank you for joining for the papers.
Oh, thank you for thanking me.
Oh, thank you for thanking me for thanking you.
Yes, you thanked me. I'm here every day. But you said thank you.
Well, that's exactly how Winfrey's organization is going to run. We'll waste all the time saying thank you back and forth.
Wow.
In any case, let's do the papers, shall we?
Yes.
Alrighty now. So we've got a couple of papers from The Guardian to the Daily Trust, Punch, and also the Vanguard. If you pick up any of these this morning, these are the headlines that you will be met with. Now, from The Guardian newspaper, we've got this here. Exiting oils firms pollute Niger deltas with 36.1 million liters of crude in 8 years. And of course, as is with The Guardian, you've got a chart there giving you exact details on spills per barrel. That's a shock.
A lot.
Elephants shock Super Eagles to win 2023 AFCON. That wasn't a shock. Anglican Church, Afe Babalola tasks Tinubu on fiscal policies, and WHO predicts global shortage of 10 million health workers. Very interesting here. And U.S. begins investigation into crash as Access Holdings scout for Wigwe's replacement. Serap sues Akpabio Abbas over 344.85 billion naira National Assembly budget. And there's more for The Guardian. Hardship states in Nigeria risk total collapse amid rising hunger, unemployment. JAPA says report. And Tinubu berates ASU, others for criticizing students' loan scheme, says no going back. And finally, for The Guardian, APC aspirants suspends participation in Edo gubernatorial primaries. A lot to talk about here. Do you want to touch on any specific?
Yeah, this was something I had a discussion with my husband on, the U.S. Investigation into the crash and Access Holdings scouting for Wigwe's replacement. It's something you don't want to talk about so soon, but I even have a feeling there was a little bit of a delay in the announcement for certain reasons like this. People have to acknowledge the fact that Access Bank has been one of the banks to have the fastest growth over the past 5 years, and on the stock exchange.
One of the big five, actually, big three.
It is. Yeah. One of the most purchased shares on the stock exchange, stocks on the stock exchange. So when you think about it, it could have had an impact when the exchange opens in an hour. It could affect.
Oh, we will find out. Yeah.
It could leave them open to even being bought by another bank or another company. Those kind of things are things people don't think about when someone that high up is lost. So we're definitely going to be watching that. And whoever his replacement would be is going to have huge, huge shoes to fill.
Yeah. Unfortunate instance, his death. And let's hope that this doesn't impact the bank or the economy because in any adverse way. Let's move on now. What daily would you be taking?
We have the Punch with us right here, and it says, heartbroken. Nigerians mourn Wizkid Wigwe. Friends, well-wishers recall late CEO's life and times. Nigeria may demand report as U.S. probes crash. He was unlike other Nigerian big men, says Mentee. Exit of a banking Wizkid. And, of course, Tinubu Abiodun, family, friends, mourn stock exchange giant Ogunbanjo, who was also...
Yeah, there was Ogunbanjo on there as well.
In the crash. Very sad. Very, very sad. Eagles clinch silver as Cote d'Ivoire win AFCON. Eagles saved worst performance for final match, say fans.
What a way to put it.
Nigeria facing worsening economic crisis, says IMF. They do seem to be back and forth about that particular, I don't know. IMF have a lot to explain with that one. Nigeria's predicaments not solely political, says Adeboye. Discos overcharged 7.1 million customers in 9 months, according to federal government. Nigeria to become food exporter through mechanized farming, according to the president there. And 4 killed as gunmen abduct 5 in Ogun. And that's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
It was indeed the worst performance for the Eagles, and it was supposed to be their last game. Unfortunately, it wasn't just the worst performance by them during their games. It was the worst performance overall, if you ask me, the entire match for every single game. Very unfortunate. Mostly, I'd say that there wasn't enough instructions from the coach, or at least actions or effort when it comes to replacements or strategy. I'm not even an expert, but I could see
I
that.
actually, for the first time, I saw the coach actually show and express
And he got a yellow card.
how much pressure he was under.
But
and I feel like he understood that he had made a mistake with the initial lineup. Even the placement, how the players were placed, the initial lineup, there were just some players that were in different places from how they had been placed in past games. And we saw the impact of how their flow was based on the initial placement of the players throughout the past 3 games. Now, making a change in the last game, was that a good move?
it was meant. Well, you know what? Join me inside for the beautiful game. Let's talk about that specific issue.
Yeah,
real quick, let's do the Vanguard, and then we'll call it quits for today for the headlines. Vanguard's got these headlines for a Monday. Higher prices loom as businesses rely more on loans to survive. Borrowing from banks rises 52%, 1.83 trillion naira. Interest payments rises 332.3% to 589.62 billion naira. Edo gubernatorials, Bini Chief Ikimi, Senator NLC Chairman, emerge PDP delegates, and Nigeria needs spiritual help to solve challenges, says Adeboye. Harsh economy pushing Nigerians to crime, Afe Babalola says. There were very many reports over the weekend about a certain area in Ikorodu where kidnappers have been seen plenty of times, I think, transporting their victims. And someone inside of that video said, well, what do you blame it on? It comes to this headline here, the very harsh economy that people are going through resorting to crimes. Very unfortunate instance this. At the top of the Vanguard, rain, wintry weather caused the crash, says the U.S. regarding the Herbert Wigwe helicopter crash. And AFCON final, elephants are champions of Africa. It's a hard pill to swallow, but there I read it. I want to touch on anything real quick because we are out of time for the day.
We have sort of talked about most of these
headlines,
issues
yes,
already. But then again, rain, wintry weather causing crash. Apparently, the helicopter, according to some reports, the helicopter had been in a crash previous. The company had a previous crash beforehand, and there are so many things that need to be investigated. The weather, they say wintry. Winter is almost over. I don't know. Excuses, I don't know. It's very hard. That's a hard pill to swallow, you know, a hard thing to explain, especially since it was outside the country. It wasn't even here. It's not even in Nigeria. All the usual excuses you get from some Nigerian or African airlines.
Yes, indeed.
You cannot accept that from the U.S. Someone's getting sued.
That's as much as we can take for the headlines this morning. Do pick up a daily. If you want to comment on any of those, do feel free. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We're live on X and also YouTube, where you can leave those comments and we'll read them as we